Hey, what's good, Jonathan? Look, I want to catch you real quick before you go to the ATM and pull out some money and make some stupid decisions you're going to regret again this week. Uh, Look, check this out. And it's just me and the rest of you goofy bastards talking amongst each other. Look, I happened to catch this podcast, No Jumper. Shout out to them. I just started watching them. And seeing this chick named Blu Jasmine. And what she's looking to do is change definitions. Like, again, she's looking to change the culture, as she says. And so she wants to change the definition of simp. Any guy that doesn't approach her or women like her with a promiscuous wallet, he'll be labeled as a simp, at least her definition. Well, let me help you understand something, Jonathan. We know the typical term of what simp is, but let's call it for what it is using the 10 life values. It's actually a spiritually impoverished mule of provision. And this is how it applies to you. See, the thing is, when you have the external five, at least most of it, you feel like you're on top of the world. You're able to compensate for many things for now. But do understand you could be a billionaire. That does not mean you can afford peace of mind, organic respect, and love. There's, as Sheep says, Sleep has given examples of what good is it to have the ability to give your children trust funds and whatnot if they can't fucking stand you. That means everything you built, everything you created, everything you sought to pass on will be wasted because you did not instill spiritual equity and value within yourself and of your progeny. So, here's how this applies to you. It takes a very spiritually bruised, broken, and shattered individual to try to compensate financially for these beautiful buzzards, these sexy scavengers, these modern day carrion birds, which means they feed off the dead or dying. And in this case, we're talking about on a spiritual level, or the internal five, which some individuals refer to as feminine to address, but I digress. How this applies to you is because with any ornery mule or farm animal convenience, you can talk to it. Come on, boy. Get now. Good job. But it's voiced a little differently because, you being a tender dick, this is how they tend to do it. Again, some of them will kindly guide you to an ATM or electronic device that'll help you get access to your resources since you want to be a provider. And to be a mule of service, the thing is you have to be able to carry her burdens, which in most cases is her bullshit. It could be her numerous debts. It could be the human unemployment voucher she calls children that either call her by her first name or don't have a healthy relationship with her. It could be the bounty of boyfriends and miscellaneous sneaky links that she has. Because again, as a Jonathan, you're only thinking about, pleasing your foreskin, when you should be using your foresight to assess her via the 4 T's. Is she worth the time? Is she worth the toil? Is she worth the trouble? And and what's her threat level? But see, knowing you want to use provision at your detriment. See, the thing is, the most important thing you need to provide is a level of balance, a level of direction, a level of safety, not just of your assets, but your reputation. Because you being a tender dick, it only hurts you when you're in there chasing a lot of these pretty parasites who mean you no good. See, what good is it to do to waste your money on an individual that if you were on your sick bed, she will never show up? Or if she does, she wants to make sure that you secure her security before you pass on. You see, Jonathan, here's my issue with you and the rest of you goofies who want to justify stupid shit. You cannot change the lexicon here because this is the Black Manosphere. No, not that much different than the Manosphere itself, but we're talking about the Black Manosphere. And if you didn't know, when we say spiritual warfare, it means all black men that are melanated, are highly valued prey. There aren't that many women that are willing to pray with you because you don't have spiritual rooting or grounding. But because you lack that, it's easy to prey upon you. Your health becomes a tool of leisure. Your dwelling, well, that could be a place of your detriment because you allow these vultures to get access to your resources because, again, you're a slave to your foreskin. Then you're talking about your appearance. Now, it's good to smell good, to attract solid women. But the thing is, what you're doing is, these modern day vultures, they like their prey to smell good. And they will sit on your shoulder and they'll rub your back while you're sitting there, tapping the ATM like you just did, a few minutes while you were listening to this. And, yeah, baby, if you really love me, this is how much it costs. See, at this moment, I have a chick who keeps on texting me unceasingly every day. Baby, I love you. You're this and that. You send me a picture. I had a dream about you last night. But here's the problem. Number one, bitch. We never talked on the phone. We never been out. I never got a chance to really spiritually gauge you. Using the 4 T's. And so that way I know how to properly implement the 4 P's or exclude you from them. And that's the thing, Jonathan. When it comes to, we hear about being thinking black men, which is an awesome thing we need to be, but that's why I put the onus on having direction of our thoughts. We need to think about the embetterment and use our foresight, which could be a sharpened weapon or the same tool that'll bludgeon us to death if used poorly. We need to use these thought processes to be leaders, to actually lead by example. And see, when you're looking to lay up with a lot of these chicks, of course, a lot of vultures will let you snuggle up on you. They'll make you feel good when they wrap their feathers around you before they peck your neck until you bleed out with their sharpened beaks and they rip you apart with their talons, which you paid for because they're manicured and whatnot because, they gotta look good for them selfies. So in closing, Jonathan, and I hope you all listen, understand the term of what simp is. A spiritually impaired mule of provision. But see, I understand it. See, I'm nearsighted. Of course, let me show you. I'm nearsighted. I have an issue with seeing things far away because, my goofy ass decided to try to, when I was young, I'd be in astrology. Astronomy, excuse me. I was trying to use a telescope to look for sunspots at the sun. Of course, that was just me being young and dumb. But see, when you're farsighted, you have issues seeing things close. See, some individuals figure that wasting their money on a bald-headed bitch is perceived as being a boss. But if you put on your glasses, your masculine lenses, which, your light will help you see things, you'll realize what you saw was boss sounds different from what you're reading right now as bozo. See? A boss knows how to manage, delegate, and handle the things pressed under his charge for maximum effectiveness. A bozo will make every opportunity to squander every opportunity it has to grow and make a clown out of himself. And under the spotlight, he'll be in the middle of 3 ring circus. Unhappiness, poverty, a certain death. You take your pick. Now think about it, Jonathan. Use that money you just pulled out the ATM and go invest in something of substance. I don't know, something that'll help you improve your wealth for yourself. Things like, and shout out to the brother who always says this, put a premium on your presence. Learn how to appreciate yourself. Take yourself out for a good steak or wherever you need to. That's what I tend to do sometimes. I eat a good steak, and a margarita, a strong one at that, and I treat myself. See, a lot of these Scavengers are looking for scavenger insurance. And that is not your place to provide that. See, again, ourselves in closing. But when it comes down to it, you can't complain about the very parasite that you sponsor. So the first thing you got to do is heal before you build. Shout out to Sheep Stay Sleep. And don't be bitter, be better. Shout out to the bishop. And what you also need to do, and I would suggest this because this isn't always passed around, but it's needed. What you need to be around is a feminine ward. Shout out to the Crimson Cure and women of that ilk. Get yourself a team that'll keep you on point. Use accountability as a shield, not as an obstacle to dodge before you fall off the cliff, which you might do if you happen to go one of these truck stops and get your girlfriend named Augustus Agnes, or whatever exotic name your lady friend with the furry legs has. So before you spend your money on the chick who's eating Copenhagen dick sandwiches, think about what I said. A simp, at the root definition, is a spiritually impaired mule of provision. If anything, provide yourself with solid information that will keep you not only healthier and wealthier, but spiritually attuned to your mission, so that way you can pass on greatness into those who are looking to surpass you. You're supposed to make people better than you were. So make good on your time. Don't be a tender dick. And as always, it always takes a pussy to expose and control one. And never allow your comfort zone to become your coffin. Oh, sorry. Now, before we close out, you already know the deal. Much love to the A-Game family. Shout out to A-Game Nation. And use the code RONIN10. And this will be your passport into the A-Game lifestyle. This helps with your vitality, strength, focus, and libido. Vitality is first. You got to start living with a purpose. Being able to do everything at 110%. Except simp. And with that, share this. You might not pay attention, but you might have a friend that may benefit from this message. Peace.